Remember that feeling you get in math class when you're just stuck on a problem?
Yeah,
Like staring at it and your brain just kind of freezes up?
totally.
AI used to be the same boat a few years ago, struggling with even high school level math problems.
It is kind of crazy to think that just a couple years back, AI could only solve 10% of those tough problems.
And here's the thing, in just 2 years, AI went from solving under 10% to almost 90%.
Wow.
That's pretty much as good as us humans. AI is learning crazy fast.
It really is.
Speaking of learning fast, today's deep dive is all about GROK AI, this chatbot from Elon Musk's company XAI.
Right.
And it's been trending because it doesn't just like spit out facts, it actually thinks and learns. And get this, it can even be funny.
That's pretty impressive.
So GROK is a total game changer
It really is.
because it represents a huge leap in what AI can actually do.
Yeah.
We're talking about an AI that can reason and learn from every interaction it has,
Right.
not just get like canned responses.
Hmm.
So, okay, help me out here. What makes GROK different from, say, ChatGPT,
Okay.
which we've all probably used a bunch?
Sure. So one of the big things is how much information Grok can actually handle at once. Imagine reading an entire textbook
Right.
and remembering every single detail.
Got it.
Grok's kind of like that it has what's called a context window
Okay.
that's way bigger than any other AI model out there.
So it's basically like having a brain that can hold like 500 novels in its memory at the same time.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it.
Wow.
That means Grok can tackle huge amounts of information all at once.
Okay.
We're talking analyzing entire legal cases, medical records, scientific papers,
Wow.
you name it.
So hold on. If I ask GROK about some crazy legal case, it can actually read all the documents and give me a smart answer.
That's the idea, yeah.
That's amazing.
It's like having a superpowered legal assistant
Right.
who can analyze everything and highlight the most important parts,
Yeah.
all while explaining it to you in a way that actually makes sense.
That's kind of freaky, but also really cool.
It is.
This is already making me rethink what's even possible with AI.
I think it's doing that for a lot of people.
If you're digging this deep dive into the future of AI, hit that like button and share it with your friends.
Definitely.
This is just the beginning.
For sure.
So before we move on, let's unpack this idea of GROK actually thinking things through.
Okay.
Because that's a pretty big deal, right?
It is a big deal.
What does that even mean? Is it just faking it?
Not at all. Let's say you ask Grook a really complex question, something that requires more than just like a simple answer.
Yeah.
It'll actually take the time to consider different sides,
Interesting.
weigh the options, even check itself for any mistakes it might have made.
So it's not just giving the first answer it finds.
Nope.
It's actually trying to figure things out.
Exactly. Grok is designed to think like a human would.
Wow.
And that's what makes it such a game changer.
This is mind-blowing. I'm already seeing how GROK could change everything.
It has a lot of potential.
But there's got to be more to it, right?
Absolutely. One thing that makes Grok really unique is that it's constantly learning from the absolute newest information.
Okay.
It's actually plugged into what's called X,
Okay.
this massive stream of real-time data that's
Wow.
constantly updating.
So GROK's not just stuck in the past like some textbook.
Nope,
It's always learning and evolving.
that's right.
That's insane.
That means that Grok can give you up-to-the-minute insights on pretty much anything you can think of.
Wow.
Think about how valuable that could be in something like the stock market,
Oh, yeah.
where things are changing literally every second.
I'm officially hooked.
Great.
Before we go any further, though, I want to hear about GROK in action.
Okay.
What can it actually do in the real world?
Sure. So let's start with something that I think everybody cares about, healthcare.
Okay.
Imagine AI that can analyze your entire medical history in just seconds.
Oh, wow.
From like your childhood checkups to your latest blood work.
That's a lot of information.
That's what Grok could potentially bring to the world of healthcare.
Whoa. Okay, that's a lot to take in. Can you break that down for me a little bit?
Sure. So picture this. A doctor needs help diagnosing a patient with a bunch of really confusing symptoms.
Okay.
They could plug all of the patient's medical info into Grok.
Uh-huh.
And boom, Grok could potentially spot diagnoses that the doctor might have missed.
So it's like having a medical genius as a consultant.
It's more about teamwork, really.
Okay.
Grok processes all of that data, finds the patterns, suggests possibilities.
Got it.
But ultimately, the doctor's still the one making the call.
So it's like having a second opinion from a doctor who's read every medical textbook ever written.
That's a great way to think about it.
Think about the possibilities for medical research, too.
It's huge.
GROK could analyze clinical trials, help find new treatments, even create personalized medicine based on your DNA.
Exact.
This is starting to feel like an episode of Star Trek.
It is pretty futuristic.
But what about like everyday stuff? Sure, how else can GROK help regular people?
Well, the financial world is going crazy for Grok right now.
How come?
Remember how we talked about its real-time access to X?
Right.
Imagine if you could analyze market trends as they are happening.
Wow.
That's what Grok can do.
So it's like having a stock market guru
Yeah.
who can predict the future.
It's not about predicting the future. It's about analyzing as much data as possible.
Right.
Grok looks at financial news reports, even what people are saying on social media,
Wow.
all in real time to help investors make better decisions.
Sounds like a lot of Wall Street folks are going to be nervous.
Maybe a little.
But it's not just for the rich and powerful, right?
Of course not.
Can regular people use Grok too?
Absolutely.
How so?
Grok can help anyone manage their money
Okay.
by giving personalized investment advice or even helping you create a budget.
Okay, healthcare finance check and check.
Right.
What else can this thing do?
Well, get this, Grok is even making waves in the creative world. Imagine AI that can help you write a movie, compose music, or even paint a masterpiece.
Wait, an AI that's creative, is that even possible?
That's what's so fascinating about Grok.
Okay.
It can be trained on a massive amount of music, art, and literature,
Right.
and then use that knowledge to create something totally new.
So it's like having a creative partner
Yeah,
who can like push you to think outside the box.
exactly.
This is wild. So Grook isn't just like a brainiac.
Nope.
It's an artist too.
It's a tool that can unlock creativity in ways that we never thought possible.
That's really cool.
Is.
Grook is seriously changing the game.
It's a big deal.
But with all this power, don't we have to be careful?
Absolutely we do. Grok has amazing potential,
Right.
but we also need to be mindful of its impact on the world.
Yeah, it's a really good point.
That's something that we'll definitely explore more in the next part of this deep dive.
I can't wait to hear more. This is fascinating.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, we just dove headfirst into this world of GROK AI, and this thing is seriously blowing my mind.
It is pretty wild.
It can think, it can learn, it can even be creative. It's like having a superpowered brain that's constantly learning.
It really is a huge step forward for AI.
Totally. And it can do everything from like analyzing legal cases to writing music.
The potential applications are incredible.
But before we get too carried away with all the cool stuff, let's maybe take a step back for a second
Okay.
and talk about the big picture.
Sure.
Because with any powerful technology, I feel like we have to be responsible,
Absolutely.
right? And think about the potential downsides. Like, what are the unintended consequences?
Yeah, that's a really important point.
What happens if Grok makes a mistake?
Right.
Or what if somebody uses it for, like, bad stuff?
Those are the questions we need to be asking.
Yeah. Are there any answers to those questions?
I mean, honestly, there are no easy answers, but I think that's why we need to be having these conversations.
Yeah.
Like right now, to think critically about the future that we're creating with AI.
It's a lot to wrap our heads around, but it's super important that we do it.
I agree.
This isn't just about some cool new tech toy. This is about the future of humanity.
Exactly. AI is going to be a part of our lives, whether we like it or not.
Yeah, true.
So I think it's up to us to shape its development
Mhm.
and make sure that it's used for good.
Okay. I'm feeling a little less starry-eyed and a bit more grounded now, but I'm still really excited about the possibilities.
Good.
Like, what about jobs? Are robots going to, like, take over the world and leave us all unemployed?
That's a common fear, I think, but it's not necessarily the whole picture.
Okay, so what is the whole picture?
AI will definitely change the job market.
Okay, in what way?
Some jobs will probably be automated for sure,
Right.
but I think a lot of new jobs will be created too.
So it's not just about robots replacing humans.
Right.
It's more about humans and robots working together.
Yeah, I like to think of it as a collaboration.
Okay, I like that.
AI can handle the repetitive tasks or the dangerous ones,
Mm-hmm.
which frees up humans to focus on the things that require more creativity.
Yeah.
Critical thinking, emotional intelligence, things like that.
Basically, the jobs that require those uniquely human skills.
Exactly. AI can analyze data and crunch numbers all day long,
Right.
but it can't replicate human empathy or intuition
True.
or the ability to connect with other people on like a deeper level.
That is reassuring.
Yeah.
But how do we prepare for this future?
Well,
What can we do to make sure we're not left behind?
I think education is going to be key.
Okay.
We need to focus on developing skills that are adaptable
Right.
and future-proof.
So like what coding boot camp for everyone?
Well, coding is definitely valuable, but it's more than that.
What else?
It's about problem solving, critical thinking, collaboration, creativity.
Those are some big ones.
Those are the skills that will set humans apart from AI, no matter how advanced it becomes.
I see what you mean. It's about staying one step ahead, always learning and evolving.
Exactly.
Just like AI itself.
Right, and I think it's not just about individuals adapting. It's about society as a whole, embracing this change and creating a framework that benefits everyone.
So governments, businesses, schools,
Yeah,
everyone needs to be on board with this.
it's definitely a massive challenge,
It is.
but it's also a huge opportunity.
I agree. If you are finding this deep dive as insightful as I am, Get that like button and share it with your friends.
Please do.
Let's spread the word and get everyone thinking about this future of AI.
I think the more people we have thinking about it, the better.
Totally. So we talked about the potential, the risks, the impact on jobs.
Yeah.
But what about the really big picture?
Okay.
What does all this mean for the future of humanity?
That's the million-dollar question. Hard to say for sure what the future holds.
Of course.
But I think AI has the potential to solve some of the world's biggest problems.
Okay, like what? World peace ending poverty.
Well, maybe not that dramatic.
Okay.
But I think AI can help us tackle climate change, develop new energy sources, cure diseases.
Wow.
Maybe even explore the universe in ways we never thought possible.
Okay, that's a pretty optimistic vision.
It is.
But what about the downsides? What are some of the risks we need to be aware of?
There's always the potential for misuse.
Okay, how so?
AI could be used to create autonomous weapons or to manipulate people's opinions, even control entire populations.
Okay, that's some scary stuff.
It is.
It sounds like we're walking a tightrope between, like, utopia and dystopia.
It's a delicate balance for sure.
Yeah.
But I believe ultimately that human ingenuity and our capacity for compassion will guide us towards a positive future.
I hope you're right. So what can we do as individuals to make sure that AI is used for good?
I think it's important to stay informed.
Okay.
Be critical, ask questions. Don't just blindly trust everything you hear about AI.
Right.
Do your own research, challenge the assumptions that people are making, and make sure your voice is heard.
It's about taking responsibility.
It is.
Not just for our own future, but for the future of humanity.
Exactly. The future of AI is not predetermined. It's something that we are actively shaping with every choice we make.
This has been a real roller coaster of a conversation.
It has.
Exciting, scary, thought-provoking.
That's what we aim for.
And we're not done yet.
Not even close in the next part.
Okay.
We're going to dive even deeper into the ethical implications of all this.
Okay.
And explore some concrete steps that we can take to ensure a more positive future.
Awesome. Can't wait. Wow, we've been on quite the journey today exploring this whole world of GROK AI, and this is some seriously next-level stuff.
It really is pushing the boundaries.
It can think, it can learn, it can even be creative.
Yeah, it's pretty mind-blowing.
It's basically a superpowered brain in a box.
A great way to put it.
So we've talked about the potential benefits of GROK.
Right.
Like how it could revolutionize healthcare or help us solve climate change. But you've also touched on some of the risks.
Right.
Like the potential for bias or misuse.
Those are definitely important considerations.
So where do we even begin? Like, how do we make sure that this powerful technology doesn't end up being more harmful than helpful?
Well, I think it starts with transparency.
Okay. What does that mean?
We need to understand how these AI systems actually work.
Yeah.
How you make decisions, what data they're trained on.
Because if we don't know how the sausage is made, so to speak, how can we trust that it's safe to eat?
Exactly. And that's where regulation comes in.
Okay, so we need some rules.
We need clear guidelines and standards for developing and deploying AI to make sure it's aligned with our values and doesn't infringe on our rights.
So it's not just about the tech itself, it's about the rules we put in place to govern it.
Right.
It's kind of like having traffic laws for the digital world.
I like that analogy.
But sometimes regulations can be slow to catch up with technology.
That's true.
So what do we do in the meantime?
Well, I think we need to foster a culture of responsible AI development.
Okay.
Encourage companies to prioritize ethical considerations, build AI systems that are fair, unbiased, and transparent.
So it's about appealing to their sense of responsibility, not just relying on laws to force them to do the right thing.
I think that's a really important part of it.
So as consumers, we have a role to play too.
Absolutely.
Like how?
Ask questions, demand transparency, support companies that are developing AI ethically.
Got it.
Vote with your wallets and your voices.
So it's about being informed and engaged, not just passive consumers of technology.
Exactly.
We need to take ownership of the future that we're creating.
I completely agree.
This has been a truly eye-opening conversation.
It has been.
It's clear that AI is here to stay.
It's not going anywhere.
And it's up to all of us to make sure that it's a force for good in the world.
I couldn't agree more. The future is full of possibilities.
It really is.
And I'm really excited to see how AI continues to shape our world in the years to come.
Me too. And if you're as fascinated by the potential and the challenges of AI as we are, hit that subscribe button and leave us a comment with your thoughts.
We'd love to hear from you.
What are your hopes and fears about the future of AI? Let's keep this conversation going.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of GROK AI.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep shaping the future.